I've remade this flow a couple of different times, and I think it's worth talking about because it gets to the very heart of why I'm making these. So I made it last week, and I overdid something and tweaked my shoulder, so stopped because I'm still nursing a shoulder injury. And then I made it again, and someone walked in on me. And then I made it again last weekend when I was away for the weekend. And I ended up doing very different things because I had been kind of a little bit more sedentary for the weekend, which kind of made me realize that my overarching goal with making these flows is to help you all to feel like you can create these yourself. And maybe that's not something you feel ready for just yet. And I personally really love just being guided sometimes as well. So I decided to kind of get back to basics and just supply you with like movement on every plane. So flexion, extension, rotation, lateral flexion, supine, prone, side lying, and like open chain, all fours, all in 3 to 5 minutes. So I'll give that my best shot. But also, I just wanted to get back to why I'm doing these. Yeah, I want to give you flows so that you could create them yourself. But I just really want to emphasize that yes, it's great to do an hour-long workout a few times a week. It's great to have supervision when possible, when you can manage. But every little counts, and that's this challenge that I had last week on Instagram, so feel free to go check that out. Just this idea that Pilates is not just about reps, it's not just about building muscles, it's also about building a neuromuscular connection, which means you're connecting your muscles to your brain. So the more times you do a rep, the more times you're like, oh, that's where my shoulders live. So your posture gets better, your alignment gets better, just by virtue of occasionally randomly checking in. So I'm gonna go through just a few basics here. This is like a very basic flow, which isn't necessarily what my body needs today or what yours does. And to that point, I will start putting out more customized flows because I've had a couple of friends reach out with very unique needs recently. And even if they don't apply to you, I'm still gonna share them with everyone because you can put them in your back pocket or share them with someone who you know is dealing with chemo or who you know is dealing with back pain or neck pain or even something really random like balance. So I'll be sharing all of those as well. But here is a super basic 5-minute, don't worry, I'm gonna, in the comments, I'll tell you when this starts so you don't have to listen to me talk all the time or ever maybe. Just 5 minutes of a little bit of everything. So it's always nice to start on your back so that gravity is kind of an ally here. And we're just gonna start with some basic low belly breathing. Inhale to expand. And exhale, find your abdominals. And don't stress if you have no idea what that means right now. That's actually a fairly complicated idea. For now, just try to find the feeling of like gently drawing your pelvic floor up and in, which is like stopping the P muscles. And the cool thing about that is it kind of gets your whole abdominal wall going. So inhale, expand, and exhale, the stopping the P. And you're gonna try to stay with that breath through this whole flow. And we're gonna add to that a little bit of a knee fold here, really feeling like your abdominal wall is what lifted the knee, and slowly lower. We're gonna do 8 of those total. 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Really feeling like that exhale is what does the work. And then we're gonna reach the arms up to the sky to multitask here. And we're gonna reach the arms up as we bridge. So we're curling into a really articulated bridge, pressing into all 4 corners of your feet. Inner heel, outer heel, baby toe, big toe, and rippling down through your spine. So the reason we're keeping your arms overhead is that you're not overusing your lats in a bridge. When our arms are long, we're actually using the hamstrings better. Try not to overly grip the glutes here. So you're doing 2 articulated bridges and 2 non-articulated bridges, keeping your spine straight and long. Inhale down, exhale up, and inhale down. And we're gonna reach the arms all the way overhead. My arms don't super comfortably go all the way overhead today because I'm still dealing with that rotator cuff injury on the left, which is super sticky. And we're gonna go ahead and reach the legs long, but one leg up to the sky. We're just gonna circle 3, 2, and 1. Reverse, 3, 2, and 1. A little bit of a hamstring stretch here. If you have trouble grabbing your leg, go ahead and lift up, that's fine. And this definitely isn't about going super deep into a stretch, it's going wherever your hamstrings feel like 60% of a stretch. Your nervous system is kind of like a child. Like, you don't want to push it aggressively because it will fight back. It is way more primal than like our grown-up brain. And circling 3, 2, still breathing, and 1, reverse, 3, 2, and 1, and again coming in for a stretch. Oof. And reach the leg nice and long. We're just gonna go ahead and roll onto the abs here. That was even plenty of like a little gentle basic ab workout for today. I would normally probably have my feet on the mat, but I'm just trying to make sure you can see me. So the hands by the sides, little gentle extension here. My legs are really parallel. If I let the legs turn out, I'm gonna be gripping my glute max, and I really wanna make sure that I'm finding my abs more than my glutes. So I'm finding my low belly in this position. I'm taking a big inhale and exhale, lifting my belly and lifting my back. There's a wonderful kind of shoulder flexibility test that you can do here, lifting your elbows and see if you can glide your hands back down by your sides without touching the floor. And I can't do that. It's a pretty intense test actually, but I definitely am not there. Maybe with my right arm. Yeah, right arm's fine. And if you can do that, great, your shoulders are in a good place. My left arm, nope. So this one is fun to try with your arms overhead, adds a little bit of load. I'm a little bit soft at the elbows again because of my shoulder. I'm like rolling the legs up and down. Sorry about the noise, somebody must be parked out front. 2, and 3, arms back down. I'm pushing back into a little child's pose here. Always a nice place to rest. If you have a little bit of extra time, you can stay for a little meditation here. If your shoulders are all good, this is nice with the arms all the way overhead, or it's even nice to cup your feet here. And because we're here, we're coming right up onto all fours. I normally would maybe save this one for end, but we're going for economy of time, right? So we're just gliding the shoulder blades back. Yeah, just lubricating this whole shoulder girdle. And the bird dog is like a really classically wonderful exercise for your core. And when I say core, it means whole abdominal wall, including the shoulder girdle. So we're reaching the right arm and the left leg out, and we're pulsing up and down 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7. Even hamstring and glute get working here. 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming in for a little mermaid, 90-90 stretch. This position is a great way to sit. It's really good for your hips, really good for your back, really good for your thoracic spine. One arm to the sky, and just coming up and over. Really try to keep 2 sits bones or both sides of your butt on the ground. Lovely stretch there. If you have time, you can hang out. You can even kind of come into a counter stretch this way, but not hugely necessary for a great stretch. Whew, that side's tight today. Oh. And partially because of my shoulder injury, but also because of violin. This side is crazy tight, so string players, that's why, if you notice it. And we're just gonna come in and down for a little bit of clams. Clams are a motion we really should get in every day because we just don't move laterally. So I would just go to town on these and do as many as you have time for. Like 20 to 40 is great. I'm probably just gonna do 10 now to keep this short and sweet. And as you can see, I'm really trying to keep my rib cage and hips stable, my shoulders stable. I probably would just normally flip over, but I want to make sure you can see me. Whew. That sound is because of my shoulder. Yeah, still working on that. I fell on a mountain, for those of you who don't know, like 3 months ago now, which sadly is pretty normal for a shoulder injury. They say they take about 6 months to recover. So after you've done that stretch on both sides, a piriformis stretch is a great thing to visit daily. So super important in my piriformis stretch that I'm staying really neutral here, that I'm not tucking, because I want my like gluteal fascia to be long. If I'm here, it's shortened. So I'm staying really neutral, but I'm trying to bring my bottom thigh bone towards me. And this knee you can play with a little bit. And I would stay there for a while, like at least a minute each side. Your piriformis is a spindle fiber muscle, which means it can kind of easily get kind of fight and flight stimulated by your nervous system. So if you spend too short of a time there, you actually can make it tighter. Whew, that side is really tight for me today. This is my tight piriformis. So as you can see, 3 to 5 minutes, so probably closer to 5, sadly, doesn't get us very far. But again, it's not about that. It's not about reps. It's about feeling like, okay, I'm a little bit more in touch now, a little bit better aligned, and I will keep supplying you with these, and have a good day.